Volunteers of the Shanti Fund organized an event to mark the 70th Punya Tithi or Rashtrapita Mahatma Gandhi in Long Island. Arvind Vora and Bakul Matalia have worked tirelessly to promote Gandhian values in New York through the Shanti Fund. We organized a panel discussion at ITV on conflict resolution. How does a Gandhian approach help in finding a way to establish harmony? Here are some highlights from that discusji.
One time Gandhiji wrote in one of the newspaper that he was editing, Young India, Gandhiji wrote that non-violent technique is that it seeks to liquidate the antagonism, not the antagonist. Mm-hmm. In other words, when we talk to the person who is sitting in front of me, and if I have an argument against him, I don't have an argument against him as a person. Only whatever the topic is that I am not agreeing with him. So that was one of the fundamental principles of the Gandhiji, that you have nothing against the person as long as you establish that fact that we are friends. I have no ill feeling for you whatsoever. All I have is just I do not agree certain value or certain point of view that you are telling me. So this is what let's talk about that. But as a person, I have no ill feeling, you are my friend. If we establish that, that will be very much easier to negotiate or to resolve the conflict peacefully.
Absolutely. And Arvindji, before we continue our conversation, I want to take you to Gandhiji's memory lane with a small clip. Take a look.
गांधी स्मृति यहाँ के जर्रे जर्रे में बापू है। ये वो जगह है जिसने बापू को महात्मा बनते देखा है। पूर्व में बिरला भवन के नाम से चर्चित इस इमारत में बापू ने जीवन के अंतिम 144 दिन बिताए।
रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन
यहाँ वो बलिदान स्तंभ मौजूद है जहाँ गोलियों पर हे राम की गूंज भारी पड़ी थी।
Hey Ram. These words have acquired special significance with symbolic and clarity of vision which Mahatma Gandhi shared with the world. And his autobiography, Arvindji, as we all know, is also my experiments with truth in English, Satya ke Prayog. So truth is the key. Now how you perceive the truth, that makes all the difference. So talk to me a little bit about the way people differ in their perception of truth, and that causes conflict. Is there any way to address it?
Well, let me just say one thing. I was just last month in India, and it's such a touching things what I saw, the clippings, the Birla Bhavan, his last steps, his room and all those things. And Birla Bhavan has come up with nice, there is a fancy word, but basically not exactly light and sound system, but with modern technology, that's phenomenal exhibitions they have done Gandhi's life. You touch with technology and all those things. Now, to answer your question, it is the reasons we have all the conflicts, because you are not going to find people agree on the same thing, even including for Gandhi. Gandhi said that I may have said something, but what I'm saying right now, I have changed my mind and I believe in these things. Now, what happened to the old one, Gandhi? By very nature, in Jainism, those are the three elements: the time, place and the person. that the same thing changes. And exactly that's the reasons, and physicists can elaborate a little more, but the same person born in India exactly at the same time in America, those two people could have a different outlook in life. You know, one may be happiest person, one may be unhappiest, one may be the richest person, one may be the poorest person. So all these phenomena are very difficult, but for individual, I'll come back to again the same thing, that person has to develop self-discipline, person has to enlighten himself or herself, and for that you need a proper education, and that proper education need to be applied properly.
Let you go talk to me a little bit about what has helped you individually in becoming more and more clear about your ability to resolve conflict and face situations which may appear uncomfortable if you are not clear about yourself.
A big role is our mental framework, right? The framework that we operate from. So this framework, each of us have it. This framework is where we create perceptions, where we notice some things and choose to ignore other things, where we do not allow ourselves to be open and think out of the box, where we choose to be stuck and not adapt, like Gandhiji did, right? His views changed because change is the only constant. So there are two frameworks, right? And I remember myself operating from this framework called be in control, where I always wanted to be in control. I assumed I'm right? I see myself as more reasonable than everybody else. And because I am more reasonable and I'm better, therefore you have some negative attributes. You are the ones who cause problems. So you are accountable, not me. And because of all of this, and because I'm always right, I avoid all these upsetting situations. That is the mental framework which is called be in control. Now think about it. If we change that framework and move to a mutual learning or open to learning framework, what happens? I say that, hey, I have some knowledge here, but I'm not the only one who's right. You could be right too. And Anekantvad, of course, Jainism or Gandhiji believed in Anekantvad. And that's what it's all about, right? So assuming that I have partial knowledge and other perspectives are legitimate too, right? Most importantly, believing or trusting in the intentions of the others. People operate out of a positive intention only. And somewhere taking ownership that, okay, I may be part of that problem. To some extent, I may be part of that problem. I may have created it, and therefore I am open to helping fix it.